Hello, my name is Sarah Young, and welcome to a cultural and culinary tour beginning in Bordeaux, France, and continuing to the Basque Country, the autonomous community of northern Spain. Then on to other scenic and historically rich areas of northern Spain. Our tour culminates in Portugal, located on the Atlantic Ocean, which has influenced many aspects of its culture. Throughout most of this journey, we travel aboard Grand Circle's ship, the Corinthian. Our first stop is the city of Bordeaux, the hub of this wine-growing region and the world's major wine industry capital. This area generates a value of over 2 billion euros of Bordeaux wine each year. Historic District is an outstanding example of 18th century urban and architectural styles. 900 million bottles of wine are produced each year, representing about 15% of all wine produced in France. This chateau has been occupied by the same family for over 700 years. It is famous for its production of a well-balanced white wine with elegant tones. Saint-Emilion is a medieval village nestled in the heart of Bordeaux's rolling vineyards. Once a 14th century cloister, this winery has underground cellars stretching over 3 kilometers, 66 feet below the surface, and maintaining a constant 50-degree Fahrenheit temperature. In addition to the sparkling wine, this town offers us an introduction to the French culinary experience. The city of Le Verdon and its neighboring seaside village boast culinary specialties, and it is also the gateway to what is arguably one of the finest wine-producing regions in the world. Rivaled perhaps only by the regions of Champagne and Napa, there is no area in the world more closely associated with its fabulous vineyards than Bordeaux, with more than 290,000 acres under cultivation. These two neighboring chateaux share a deep Medoc wine tradition. The culinary experience is magnificent, and the wine is a dark red color with fruit aromas evoking cherry and black currant. The wine is aged in barrels of the finest oak. From the top of Monte Igaldo, we are able to view the town of San Sebastian in the Basque Country. It was once a resort town favored by Spanish royals. Its old town is the traditional core area of the city. It was surrounded by a wall until 1863. The city also offers us an introduction to pinchos. A pincho is a small snack typically eaten in bars similar to Spanish tapas. Pincho is literally a thorn or a spike, or in this case, the cocktail stick attaching the snack to the bread. Sailing along, we reach our next destination, Bilbao, the industrial port town whose economy was revitalized by the Frank Gehry-designed Guggenheim Museum. Opened in 1997, it is a spectacular structure of titanium, glass, and limestone. Inside, there is 120,000 square feet of exhibition space spread over 19 galleries. The historic town of Santillana del Mar is also known as the Town of Three Lies. It is not holy, the Sant part, it is not flat, the Llana, and it is not by the sea, Del Mar. This medieval village is a living museum and home to many artists. The culinary experience extends to the ritual of pouring the local hard cider. Sailing overnight, we reach Santiago de Compostela, the burial place of Saint James, one of the 12 apostles. The Camino de Santiago, or the Way of St. James, is the pilgrimage trail to Santiago de Compostela, a journey from Europe and elsewhere to venerate the saint's tomb. Scallop shell is a symbol. It is a metaphor for the pilgrim. As the waves of the ocean wash up scallop shells on the shore of Galicia, God's hand guides the pilgrims to Santiago. Santiago de Compostela is the third most visited pilgrimage site in all of Christianity, after Jerusalem and Rome. The nearby town of La Coruna is a busy port city on the Atlantic. It provides a distribution point for the agricultural goods from the region. The Roman Tower of Hercules is a lighthouse that has been in continuous use since the 2nd century. We next enter the second largest city in Portugal, Porto. It is one of the major urban areas of the Iberian Peninsula. The Stock Exchange Palace is decorated with designs of the countries with which Portugal had commercial trade in the 19th century. Porto is rich in cultural traditions as well as culinary specialties, including the Portuguese national dish, made with salted cod. And of course, the fortified wine, port, which is the best known of the city's exports. Our floating home then brings us to Coimbra, which was the medieval capital of Portugal and home to the country's greatest university, which has been home to students for over 500 years. And our final disembarkation is in Lisbon and the port of Belém, with its 16th century lighthouse to guard the port of Lisbon. Jeronimo's Monastery is one of the most prominent examples of Portuguese late Gothic architecture. Belém is also known for the pastel de nata, the original egg-based pastry which has been a staple in the Lisbon area since medieval times. Lovely town of Sintra was a long-time royal sanctuary. The National Palace is distinguished by dramatic twin chimneys and elaborate tile work. The slightly cooler climate of Sintra enticed the nobility and elite of Portugal to build palaces and extravagant residences in this area. Freshly roasted chestnuts are a culinary offering by Sintra. The seaside town of Cascais was once a small fishing village. It was then transformed into a resort area for the royal family in the late 1800s. Lisbon is Portugal's hilly coastal capital city and its largest city. It is also one of the oldest cities in the world. The rooster symbolizes luck and happiness. Lisbon is recognized as a global city because of its importance in finance, commerce, media, arts, and international trade. And of course, we immerse ourselves in local traditional culinary delights, including the Portuguese national dish, codfish cakes, made from salted cod and potatoes. Our last stop of the trip is Óbidos, a beautiful and historic walled town filled with cobblestone streets and traditionally painted houses. It has indeed been a beautiful journey, immersing ourselves in the culture of the region, including our exploration of the wine country. It has also been a wonderful introduction into the culinary specialties of this region, which we enjoyed both on our ship as well as touring the lands. The generosity and talent of the people that we have met along the way have further enhanced this amazing adventure. And, of course, nature her own self, as we cruise along the coast, is a gift of inspiration to us all.